Hello everyone, I'm Leijie Wang. I'm a second-year PhD student from University of Washington. Today, I'm very excited to present my work on understanding people's privacy considerations when reporting on end-to-end encrypted platforms. This work is impossible without my wonderful collaborators from University of Washington and Cornell. I'll begin my presentation by asking a question: have any of you ever experienced online harassment? In 2021, a Pew survey found that nearly 41% of Americans experienced online harassment, and nearly half of these people say they know the harasser, which could be their acquaintances, family members, or ex-romantic partners. Online harassment even pervades E2E platforms, which are often used by people for private and secure conversations. A survey uncovered that 12% of adults have experienced online harassment on WhatsApp, one of the most commonly used E2E messaging platforms. Here, what's alarming that is the potential misuse of sensitive information in such harassment cases. Just imagine receiving threatening messages from your ex-partners, which include intimate photos of you, or even worse, these intimate photos being circulated in a group chat. In such cases, would you report these unwanted messages? So user reporting is a widely used strategy across platforms to tackle online harassment, especially on E2E platforms. As E2E, the technology prevents third parties from accessing conversations without users' explicit consent. E2E platforms cannot deploy algorithms to proactively detect abusive messages. Therefore, user reporting isn't just a response mechanism to online harassment. It is often the first line of defense on E2E platforms. Some researchers even consider reporting as the most privacy-preserving moderation approach on E2E platforms. But even if you decide to report, there are more complexities. For example, who would you like to report to? Platform or community moderators? But wait, who are community moderators? So in this case, we define a community as a collection of multiple group chats, so such as WhatsApp or Matrix community, or in non-E2E setting, a Slack workspace or a Discord server. Community moderators are often elected or appointed by admins to review user reports collected via very ad hoc ways. So for example, through direct messages with the moderators, dedicated moderation channels, or even some emails. But despite such a carefully built reporting systems across online platforms, it turned out that 47% of people who did not try to report online harassment. While prior research indicated the ineffectiveness of the reporting system as one of the primary reasons why people refrain from reporting, we would like to highlight privacy as another important but often neglected factor, especially for people on E2E platforms who are more invested in protecting their privacy. We argue that even though reporting is initiated by users with their consent, they may still be unclear about the reporting procedures and be concerned about potential privacy violations. So there are a lot of privacy risks in this kind of procedures. So for instance, do you know which information gets shared in a report? Actually, the answer varies across platforms. So we take the context around the reported message, for example. While Signal does not disclose the content of the reported message to moderators, WhatsApp will collect the last 5 messages of the reported conversation, and the number is 30 on Facebook Messenger. On League of Legends, a popular online game, the moderators can have access to the entire chat during the match log. The context around the reported message can help moderators better understand each report. But it may also include some personally identifiable information that a reported person is unwilling to share, especially in the conversations with their acquaintances, family members, or ex-romantic partners. Another question, are you aware of what happens when you report? This shared private information may be further leaked due to insecure storage, or exploited by platforms to make profits. It is even possible that platform or community moderators are malicious actors. With their privileged access to your private information in the reports, they may take sides with the abuser, leak information, or even perpetrate online harassment themselves. With these pressing concerns, it's crucial to delve deeper into people's privacy concerns when reporting on E2E platforms. Potential findings could guide us to design more privacy-preserving reporting mechanisms, even on online platforms in general. We set out to answer 2 research questions. First, as people's mental models of technologies influence their behaviors, we start by asking what are users' mental models of reporting, especially in terms of what data is shared, who gets access to your report, and how the data is used by platform after reporting. We also would like to understand what privacy considerations people have when reporting on E2E platforms, especially in terms of their decisions about whether should I report, who should I report to, community or platform moderators, and finally, what information should I share in a report? With these 2 research questions in mind, we conducted semi-structured interviews with 16 participants who are users from a variety of E2E platforms. And here are some interesting findings from our interviews. First, about users' mental models, we found that people have different perceptions of platform moderators versus community moderators. Platform moderators are perceived to know better platform policies, and they can identify better reports of illegal behaviors. The community moderators are more familiar with the community norms for disrespectful behaviors. Participants also believe that platform moderators have more moderation abilities, such as deleting the account from the platform. However, community moderators are assumed to have more time and resources to review each user report, and therefore can act more quickly upon online harassment happens. Despite each group of moderators has their unique strengths, the majority of participants have more trust in platform moderators, who are perceived to be more professional and accountable in protecting users' privacy, and they are also less likely to know any community members and therefore has less personal motivation to misuse their power. Finally, as platform moderators have less time and resources to review each report, they are less likely to notice the personal information in the report and therefore are less likely to abuse the information. For our second research question about privacy concerns and considerations, we found that the decision whether I should report is actually a result of weighing the privacy risks of reporting against its privacy protections. So for instance, one participant tended not to report abusive messages with intimate photos in a direct message, as they believe they can just delete the message without risking being identified by moderators. But if these intimate photos are in a group chat, since they do not want the people to see it, they should take the risk to report it and have the photo deleted. About the second research question, which information should I share? We found people are less willing to share identifying information. But if they are more willing to share contextual information, if they believe the reports are anonymized. Relatedly, participants are less willing to share information about personal preferences, such as political views or sexual orientation, with community moderators because they believe community moderators are more likely to know their personal identities and can associate the personal preferences with their identities. One participant expressed their concerns. I would prefer platform moderator than who I have some relationship with, even if it's in a vague sense that they moderate the community. Our findings point out to some interesting design implications for more privacy-preserving reporting systems on E2E platforms, or even on non-E2E platforms where there's some expectation of privacy. So first, we advocate having more granularity when compiling reports. People should be empowered to select which messages to be included in a report, so that they can exclude messages with identifying information, or include messages that are important for moderation, but are outside of the near context. For instance, you could choose not to include your intimate photos if the contextual information is clear enough. Users should also benefit from the ability to choose to whom to report, as reporting to different groups of moderators has different privacy implications. The ability to escalate reports to platform moderators can also help hold malicious community moderators accountable for their behaviors. Second, we know that existing reporting systems only allow a one-way interaction between the reporting person and the moderators. Future reporting systems should enable more interactions between stakeholders in the reporting procedure. So for example, back and forth interactions between users and moderators might be desirable to find the right balance between sharing too much and sharing too little. Users could withhold their intimate photos on the first try, but decide to share it upon moderators' request. The different strengths of platform and community moderators also highlight an opportunity for them to collaborate. Other community members might also be helpful to support a report, especially in cases where victims of harassment are too overwhelmed to report all of them. Here is a summary of my presentation and a QR code for the paper. Thank you for listening, and welcome any questions.